Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy. It's Ray Gold. To many of you, I'm known as Ray Gold. I don't know which channel I'm going to post this on, but probably not Ray Gold. I want people to feel the magic. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and post this up and just say a couple things about, you know, just obviously what's going on today. It's 2018. Today is the 7th of October 2018. It is a Sunday. It's a new day, and it is 5:55 a.m. I'm here in Washington, D.C., right outside of Washington. I'm actually in the city of Alexandria, Washington, right outside. For those of you who know their history, that when the federal government of Washington, D.C. was started, 69 square miles of land was given from Maryland, 31 square miles of land was given from Virginia. Virginia has taken that land back, I think, in 1830 because of the slave trade. They said that the abolitionists in the Washington federal government were trying to abolish slavery, and Virginia being the good old Commonwealth, South entity, government, state, corporation, it was called the Virginia Company. You know, they saw that when they gave that land to to Washington D.C. that the federal government was trying to abolish slavery, so they took their fucking land back because there's many ports along the Potomac that they was bringing those African slaves on, where they call us African slaves. Now that's part of what I wanted to talk about today. Black people, wake up is what I'm gonna say. Just wake up. It's 2018. First of all, I'm gonna touch on this slavery shit. Forget about that slavery shit. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. The slavery is a hoax. A man told me that when I was a I was 16 years old, where the spokesman of the Nation of Islam, I think that was back in those days, that was Minister Amin Muhammad, I believe that's his name. Forget it. That was back in the 90s. He said, "Listen, man, that shit's a hoax." When black people came over here on the west coast of Africa, you have many thriving cultures. First of all, you had the Moorish Empire, you had the Ghanan Empire, you had the whole Ivory Coast. I think it's Cameroon. You had. It was thriving culture. When those raggedy buttfuck Europeans came to Africa after discovering the new land, now that's another thing. You're talking about black people were coming here on slave ships. We were already here, man. The Great Mali Empire, Mansa Musa. Study those historic emperors of West Africa. They already were here. We were already here making treaties with the Indians and the natives of North America, the Caribbean, South America, Central America, the West Indies. We were already making treaties with that. White fucking people have distorted history so much, and you went to their schools and universities, and that's all you study. You didn't study anything outside the box. You mastered their education, what they told you about themselves, which is just a fucking lie that the elitists of their cultures agree to: the kings, the queens, the monarchs, the priests, the rulers, the emperors. This is what they agreed to tell you. It wasn't any truth to that, because you're only going to know what you believe. How else do you know? You can't remember from the time you were born. You can't remember from the time before you were born. You can't remember most of what you inquired before you were three. You know, your indoctrination stage starts when you're about five, and then from then up it's first grade, and the rest is history. You forgot. They got you after that. They'll tell you anything. They'll tell you that there's a man in the moon, and then you will believe it. They'll tell you that some savior came here and died for your sins and resurrected. You will believe it. They'll tell you that Christopher Columbus discovered the Americas. You will believe it. As I take a sip from my fruity hot beverage, my fruit tea, I infuse my hot tea now with the vitamin C, the airborne. I'm going to make this quick. And also, I have a touch of honey. This is 5:55. Like I said, now it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm just rambling on. But getting back to the slavery thing, this is a good drink. Everybody should start their morning with a hot infused tea. This is a fruity herbal blend, and I put the airborne in here, and I mix it with natural honey, and it's great to get your day started. Fuck that Starbucks coffee poison. This is the hot drink that you should be. And this is sponsored by PenFed, Federal Credit Union. Okay. So anyway, I had to throw that shout out. Okay. Anyway, back to the history of the slave. Okay. Remember that these thriving empires, they were already here. They were already building cultures and in trade routes with the Indians. These Europeans stole that. They want to make it seem like they discovered this shit, fucked over the natives, okay, and then established their colonies. Me being in Virginia, which was the first colony, Jamestown. Jamestown is 2 hours south of where I'm at now in Alexandria. But they want to sit up here and act like that this was their shit. Like they got these niggas from Africa and brought them here and forced them into labor. That's bullshit. Black people were already here. Okay, you guys come up with this African American bullshit and slavery. That's if you want to believe that, that's fine. Okay, but it's not true. We were already here. I'm going to give you look up a website called Sacred Records of the Moors. Sacred Records of the Moors are they talk about the treaties that the early colonizers had with thriving West African civilizations, primarily Morocco. And the Moroccan Empire flourished all throughout the west coast of Africa. We're talking about the Ivory Coast, Mali, what's now known as Liberia, Nigeria. I meant all these Benin. I mean these cultures were all influenced by the Moorish Empire, and the Moorish Empire was big. They had treaties. The early colonization, George Washington wrote treaties with these Africans, giving them the same status as a white landowner in the Americas under the United States government. He already claimed black people as equal. If you were said to be a descendant of that thriving culture, which most people were, it descended all the way down the west coast of Africa from Morocco. We were already here as political ambassadors. I mean, in the Americas. I mean, they made a treaty with us. We came to America as a business agreement. Some say, okay, indentured servants, okay, indentured servitude, okay, I work for you for 10 years. At the end of the day, okay, you have 100 acres of land, okay, I helped you cultivate this land, I helped you build houses, fixtures, build your empire. I'm entitled to 5%, 10% after 10 years. These are the types of agreements that we had with these plantation owners. Now, I'm not saying that some blacks were sold into slavery by their own people. That's a fact. But they were prisoners of war. I mean, if you were a prisoner of war, you were sold into other tribes. You were sold into the Arabs. I mean, you were sold. I mean, that's one of the spoils of war. I mean, that's something that happens in time. I mean, if you go to war with another nation, you go to war with a another tribe or another clan or another uh, country back in those days or another kingdom, you got prisoners of war. You take the men away. Okay, they probably became slave for the monarch of Africa, or they were sold into slavery to the Arabs, or even now you got the The white man, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant British Empire male, or monarch, or whatever you want to call it, whatever the fuck they are. They come, now they're on the scene. So, yeah, they're doing this thing now in America. They want to make this trade route, which we've already discovered. They want to create a triangular slave trade. Okay, well, black people are already in the West Indies. Black people are already in Barbados, Jamaica, Haitian. I mean, what were we doing? You think this all started with colonialization in the 1400s and Christopher Columbus and fucking King James and this shit? No, man, we had this down beforehand. Uh, Word out to all you Negroes, you black people, African Americans, blacks. We were here already. Quit asking the white man for all this shit. You want to be a part of a system that they did not create for you. This whole system of the American government, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, this shit was not created with you in mind. Quit asking these motherfuckers, acting like getting so mad like this is your government. The federal government in Washington, D.C., they owe us something, reparations, affirmative action, right? We want equal rights. Black Lives Matter. Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill. Give us a national holiday. Recognize this. This is not created for you. You already had it. This is your claim. And most of y'all already know that most of y'all black people got Indian blood in you anyway. I mean, my Indian blood goes back on my mom's side, my father's side, and not too far back. I'm talking about like my great grandfather, tribal men, Blackfoot Indian, tribe of the Lockharts, man. We were already up in here, man, way before. We're indigenous. Okay, so you got some African blood in you? Everybody has African blood in you. That's the homeland of civilization. So we're all Africans and we're all in America. Even the white boy is an African American if you want to take it back. Quit being so stupid, people. Wake the fuck up. Quit asking these motherfuckers for their money. Their money is worthless now. The system is over. Declaration of Independence, 1776. 242 years. This motherfucker is done. The monetary system is shot. The U.S. Treasury has no power, right? The fucking dollar is embarrassing across the world. I've been across the world. I be out in France, the Netherlands, the UK. Listen, man, this is bullshit. The money here is bullshit. They still got you working like a slave for a worthless federal banknote. It's a privatized banknote, a central banknote. It's not even real U.S. currency because they're on some Federal Reserve Bank, which is a private corporation. Shit, this is not the Treasury doesn't even control our money anymore. Wake up, fucking people! You think this fucking idiot in office, Donald Trump, is your president? It's a fucking showman. He's a clown. He's a hoax. He's there so you can watch the TV like a soap opera now. All this stuff, Kavanaugh and Comey and Mueller and this and that, fucking Kushner, and you can't even keep up. It's like you gotta keep the news on to keep up with this bullshit on CNN, CNBC, CBS, all this bullshit broadcast. Just need to pull the plug. Wake up, people. The money's over. The intrinsic wealth is coming from the world anyway. I mean, I got the intrinsic wealth from the world. From the world. I mean, not even the fucking world, from the fucking atmosphere, yo. Fuck a paper, linen, cotton uh, banknote. And you still go and you put a value on what your life is worth. Just like the slaves. It's not slavery isn't over. There was no abolishment of slavery with the Emancipation Proclamation. And in fact, the Emancipation Proclamation made all of us motherfuckers slaves because it created the citizen. So if you walk around here saying that you are a citizen of the fucking U.S. instead of a national, sovereign human being, you are a people, are a person. If you still walking around here calling yourself by labels, a citizen, a African American, an Italian American, whatever the fuck type of American, a Chinese, you ain't, you're a slave. There's no abolishment of slavery because they got you all working for that Federal Reserve privatized United States of America bank note. It's not money, it's not currency, it's not cash, it's nothing but a worthless, fucked up piece of paper with some symbols and dead men's picture on it. Wake up, people. And I'm just speaking to the black people. I mean, all you people can take it from what it's worth. I mean, I have respect for all cultures. You know, I go to Europe. You know, I have respect for the Asian culture. I have respect for the African culture in different individual countries. I spend most of my time down in Central America, down with the Latinos in Colombia. I be around, bro. Even up and down the East Coast, from DC to Miami. I'm around this motherfucker. I see what's happening. Meeting people, talking to people. I haven't had a job in 7 years. I used to work with the big banks, big financial institutions. I'll name a couple. I used to be out there with Citibank and American Express and some other private banks. I'm not in that system anymore. I see you got to wake up out of this matrix. This matrix that keeps you in the loop of still thinking you need gas for your car when you don't need it. Of you need to pay some company to keep your lights on. You don't need it. You need to go be able to go to the local market to buy GMO foods and pasteurized milk and shit that's harming your body and medications that are killing you. You don't need it, yo. Put your money in some financial privatized commercial bank saying that you're saving it up, getting a 0.5% interest annually. It's a joke. Oh, you need to pay your mortgage. Oh, your amortized mortgage at 5% interest, amortized over 30 years. That makes a lot of fucking sense, right? Oh yeah, it's mind mentality. Oh, here's the good one. Go to school, go to expensive school and pay $20,000 a year for an education that's going to be obsolete about while you're still paying your student loans. You'll never pay off your student loans anyway, but 10 years after you're still into student loan payments, now you're paying for education. All the knowledge that you learned 10 years ago is obsolete and you're still paying 40, $50,000 in student loans. Wow, that makes sense. Let's go out and breathe polluted air, carbon monoxide from the exhaust pipes when we all have knowledge on clean fuel. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, still use fossil fuels. Oh, okay. Let's do a amortized mortgage rate. Yeah, lock you in at this credit card debt. Go buy shit that is polluting your body and shit like that and stuff that's going to give you cancer. And next thing you know is a lawsuit against this company 10 years later and you have fucking ovarian cancer because you use talc powder. I mean, this is insane, man. I mean, and you don't know anything about the religion. There's no savior coming to save you. Okay, there's no Muhammad, no Jesus. Nobody gives a fuck about you here. You have to realize your God potential and take control of yourself, people. Stop accepting this bullshit history. Stop accepting this bullshit news. Stop accepting this bullshit money. It's not money. It's just paper, worthless banknotes. I don't care whether you're dealing with the pound or the peso or the dollar or the euro. It's a piece of fucked up paper that's not backed by anything of intrinsic value. Use gold, use bartering, use precious metals, use precious elements, rare earth elements. Use your labor, use your intelligence. Use Bitcoin, use digital currency, use Ethereum or Dash or some shit like that. Fuck this shit, man. It was never designed for you. I just felt compelled to tell you this. Listen, man, I'm gonna get back to my tea. I'm gonna get back to my work. Even though it's Sunday, I'm still working. I'm making that shit happen. I'm getting my wealth. I don't see wealth in terms of some bullshit paper dollar or paper pound or paper euro. My wealth is in me. My wealth is in my heart. My jewels of the soul, yo. I want you people to listen to this real good. And y'all hit me up in those comments. If you have any comments, you want to get back with me, we are starting the movement. Okay? You can go see me on Geocache, Geo Global Cash on Instagram. You can see me on Ray Gold Evans. You can see me on Panama Gold, Gold Panama, Facebook, Ray Disson on Twitter, at Ray Vance. Hit me up, man. All right, peace one.